Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Easy English Daily, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Emily.
Hello, Emily. Hello, everyone. I'm Paul. It is great to be here again.
Hi, Paul. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. A little sleepy, but very good.
A little sleepy. Why are you sleepy?
Because I had a very relaxing weekend. Maybe too relaxing.
Too relaxing. That sounds nice.
Yes, it was nice. I slept late. I watched movies. I ate pizza. It was a good weekend.
That sounds like a very Paul weekend.
Yes, very, Paul. What about you, Emily? How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. I had a busy weekend, but it was also very nice.
Busy weekend? Oh, that sounds different from my weekend.
Yes, very different. I cleaned my apartment, visited my parents, and went shopping.
Wow, you did many things.
I did, and that is perfect because today our topic is weekends.
Ah, weekends. A very important topic.
Yes. Today we are going to talk about how to talk about your weekend in English.
That is very useful. People ask this question all the time.
Exactly. On Monday, at work, at school, or with friends, people often ask, "How was your weekend?"
Or, what did you do this weekend?
Yes. And sometimes English learners feel nervous. They think, "What should I say?"
I understand that. Sometimes the question is easy, but the answer feels difficult.
Right. But today we will make it easy.
Easy and fun.
Yes. We will learn simple sentences you can use to talk about your weekend.
Great. But before we start, everyone, please remember to subscribe to Mr. English channel.
Yes, and if this episode helps you, please click the like button.
And share this podcast with a friend who is learning English.
It helps us a lot.
It really does.
Okay, Paul, are you ready?
I am ready. Let's talk about the weekend.
First, let's learn the most common question.
Okay, what is it?
The question is, how was your weekend?
How was your weekend?
Very good. This is a very common question.
People ask this on Monday morning.
Yes, maybe your coworker says, "Good morning, how was your weekend?"
Or your classmate says, "Hey, how was your weekend?"
Exactly, and you can answer very simply.
Like what?
You can say, "It was good,"
It was good.
or "It was great,"
It was great.
or "It was relaxing."
It was relaxing. I like that one.
I know you do.
Yes, my weekend was relaxing.
You can also say, "It was busy,"
It was busy.
or "It was okay."
It was okay. That is useful too.
Yes, not every weekend is amazing.
True, sometimes the weekend is just okay.
So let's practice.
Okay,
Paul, how was your weekend?
it was relaxing.
Nice, what did you do?
I stayed home and watched movies.
Very good, simple and clear.
My turn. Emily, how was your weekend?
It was busy but nice.
What did you do?
I cleaned my apartment and visited my parents.
Very good. Busy, but nice.
Yes. So, listeners, you can start with a short answer.
You do not need a long answer.
Exactly. You can say, "It was good, I stayed home."
Or, it was busy. I went shopping.
Perfect.
Emily, I have a question.
Yes, Paul.
We say, what did you do this weekend? But the weekend is finished.
Yes, good point.
So we use past words.
Yes, but today we will not make grammar difficult.
Good. Thank you.
We will just learn useful sentences.
I like useful sentences.
Me too. For example, I stayed home.
I stayed home.
This means you did not go out much.
Ah, like me.
Yes, you stayed home.
I stayed home. I watched movies. I ate pizza.
Very good. Another useful sentence is, I went shopping.
I went shopping.
This means you went to stores and bought things.
Did you go shopping, Emily?
Yes, I did. I went shopping on Saturday.
What did you buy?
I bought some food, a new notebook, and a blue shirt.
A blue shirt? That is my style.
Yes, Paul, I thought of you.
Thank you. Blue shirts are the best.
Another useful sentence is, I visited my family.
I visited my family.
This is very common. Many people visit their parents or grandparents on the weekend.
Yes, I sometimes visit my sister on Sunday.
That's nice. What do you do together?
We have lunch and talk. Sometimes we drink coffee.
Very nice. So you can say, I visited my sister.
I visited my sister.
Or, I had lunch with my family.
I had lunch with my family.
Excellent.
Let's talk about Saturday.
Good idea. Saturday is usually the first free day for many people.
Yes, Saturday is a happy day.
Why?
Because no alarm clock.
No alarm clock?
Well, sometimes no alarm clock.
What time did you wake up on Saturday?
I woke up at 9:30.
9:30? That is not too late.
Wait. Then I stayed in bed until 10:15.
Ah, okay. That is more, Paul.
Yes. I was very comfortable.
So you can say, I slept late.
I slept late.
This is a very useful weekend phrase.
I slept late on Saturday.
Perfect. What did you do after that?
I made coffee.
Of course.
Yes. Coffee first. Then I made breakfast.
What did you have for breakfast?
I had eggs and toast.
Nice. So you can say, I had eggs and toast for breakfast.
I had eggs and toast for breakfast.
Very good. What did you do after breakfast?
I watched a movie.
In the morning?
Yes.
A movie in the morning?
It was Saturday. Saturday has no rules.
That is funny.
What about you, Emily? What did you do on Saturday morning?
I woke up early.
Of course.
I made coffee, cleaned my apartment, and did the laundry.
Did the laundry. That means washed clothes, right?
Yes, I washed my clothes.
Very useful. I did the laundry.
Exactly. I also cleaned the kitchen.
You had a very productive Saturday morning?
Yes, I did. Then I went shopping.
So your Saturday was busy.
Yes, I can say my Saturday was busy.
My Saturday was relaxing.
Very different.
Very different.
Now let's talk about common Saturday activities.
Okay, I like this.
Many people say, I went shopping.
I went shopping.
I cleaned the house.
I cleaned the house.
I met my friends.
I met my friends.
I went to a cafe.
I went to a cafe.
I watched a movie.
I watched a movie.
I cooked dinner.
I cooked dinner.
I visited my family.
I visited my family.
Excellent. These are all simple and useful.
Can I say, I did nothing?
Yes, you can.
Good. Very useful for me.
You can say, I did nothing special.
I did nothing special.
This means your weekend was simple.
That is a good sentence. Sometimes people ask, what did you do? And I think,
Yes. Then you can say, nothing special, I just stayed home.
nothing special. I just stayed home.
Perfect.
Now Sunday.
Yes, Sunday has a different feeling.
Yes, Sunday is nice, but also a little dangerous.
Dangerous?
Yes, because Monday is coming.
Oh, I understand. Sunday evening can feel a little sad.
Exactly. Sunday morning is happy. Sunday evening is Monday danger time.
That is funny, but true.
What do you usually do on Sunday, Emily?
On Sunday, I like to have a slow morning.
A slow morning. That sounds nice.
Yes, I drink coffee, read a book, and sometimes go for a walk.
Go for a walk. Very useful phrase.
Yes, I went for a walk on Sunday.
Where did you walk?
I walked in the park.
Nice. I like walking in the park.
What about you, Paul? What did you do on Sunday?
I visited my sister.
That's nice.
Yes, we had lunch together. Then I went home and took a nap.
Took a nap. That means slept for a short time.
Yes, a beautiful short sleep.
You love sleep.
Sleep is my friend.
So you can say, I took a nap.
I took a nap.
Very good. What did you do in the evening?
I prepared for Monday.
Oh, very responsible.
A little responsible. I washed my clothes and checked my bag.
Good. You can say, I prepared for Monday.
I prepared for Monday.
This is a very useful Sunday sentence.
Yes. On Sunday evening, I prepared for Monday.
Great. Let's compare two types of weekends.
Okay, what types?
A relaxing weekend and a busy weekend.
Ah, yes. My weekend and your weekend.
Exactly.
My weekend was relaxing.
What did you do?
I stayed home. I watched movies. I slept late. I took a nap. I ate pizza.
That sounds relaxing.
It was wonderful.
Now my weekend was busy.
What did you do?
I cleaned my apartment. I did the laundry. I went shopping. I visited my parents. I cooked dinner.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yes, but it felt good.
So if your weekend was relaxing, you can say,
It was relaxing. I stayed home and rested.
it was relaxing. I stayed home and rested.
If your weekend was busy, you can say,
It was busy. I cleaned the house and visited my family.
very good.
What if my weekend was boring?
You can say, it was a little boring.
It was a little boring.
Or, I didn't do much.
I didn't do much.
This is very natural.
I like that. I didn't do much.
Yes, it is simple and useful.
Emily, can we hear a weekend story?
Yes, that is a great idea. We have a short story from Anna.
Anna?
Yes, Anna is going to tell us about her weekend.
Great. Let's listen.
Hello, my name is Anna. I want to tell you about my weekend. On Saturday, I woke up late. I woke up at 9 o'clock. I felt very happy because I did not have work. First, I made coffee and ate breakfast. I had toast and fruit. After breakfast, I cleaned my room and did the laundry. Then I went shopping with my sister. We went to a small store near my house. I bought some food and a new t-shirt. After shopping, we went to a cafe. I had tea and my sister had coffee. We talked and laughed. It was very nice. On Saturday evening, I stayed home. I cooked dinner. I made pasta with vegetables. After dinner, I watched a movie. The movie was funny, and I laughed a lot. I went to bed around 11 o'clock. On Sunday, I had a slow morning. I slept late again. Then I called my parents. We talked for about 20 minutes. After that, I went for a walk in the park. The weather was sunny and warm. In the afternoon, I read a book and listened to music. In the evening, I prepared for Monday. I washed my clothes, cleaned my bag, and went to bed early. My weekend was simple, but very relaxing.
Thank you, Anna. That was a wonderful weekend story.
Yes, very clear and easy to understand.
I liked how Anna used simple time words.
Yes, on Saturday evening, on Sunday, in the afternoon, in the evening.
Very good. These words help us tell the story in order.
She said, on Saturday, I woke up late.
Yes, woke up late. Very useful.
Then she made coffee and ate breakfast.
Right. She had toast and fruit.
Then she cleaned her room and did the laundry.
Good weekend chores.
Chores. That means housework, right?
Yes, cleaning, laundry, washing dishes. These are chores.
I know chores. I do not love chores.
Many people don't love chores, Paul.
True.
Anna also went shopping with her sister.
And they went to a cafe.
Yes, they talked and laughed.
That sounds very nice.
On Saturday evening, Anna stayed home and cooked dinner.
She made pasta with vegetables.
Then she watched a funny movie.
A good Saturday evening.
On Sunday, she had a slow morning.
I like that phrase. A slow morning.
Me too. It means you are not in a hurry.
Not in a hurry. Very nice.
She called her parents.
She went for a walk in the park.
She read a book and listened to music.
Then she prepared for Monday.
Yes. She washed her clothes, cleaned her bag, and went to bed early.
Anna is more organized than me.
Maybe a little.
A lot.
So Anna can say, my weekend was simple but relaxing.
My weekend was simple, but relaxing.
Very good sentence.
Emily, Can we make some simple answers for learners?
Yes, that is very helpful.
If someone asks, "How was your weekend?" What can I say?
You can say, it was good.
It was good.
It was great.
It was great.
It was relaxing.
It was relaxing.
It was busy.
It was busy.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was a little boring.
It was a little boring.
Good. Now, if someone asks, what did you do this weekend? You can say,
I stayed home.
I stayed home.
I watched a movie.
I watched a movie.
I went shopping.
I went shopping.
I visited my family.
I visited my family.
I met my friends.
I met my friends.
I cleaned my room.
I cleaned my room.
I cooked dinner.
I cooked dinner.
I went for a walk.
I went for a walk.
I prepared for Monday.
I prepared for Monday.
Great. These are easy.
Yes, and you can put two sentences together.
Like what?
It was good. I visited my family.
It was good. I visited my family.
It was relaxing. I stayed home and watched a movie.
It was relaxing. I stayed home and watched a movie.
It was busy. I cleaned my house and went shopping.
It was busy. I cleaned my house and went shopping.
Excellent.
What if I want to ask another person about their weekend?
Good question. You can ask, how was your weekend?
How was your weekend?
Or, did you have a good weekend?
Did you have a good weekend?
Or, what did you do this weekend?
What did you do this weekend?
Very good. And if someone answers, you can respond kindly.
Like what?
If they say, I visited my family, you can say, that sounds nice.
That sounds nice.
If they say, I stayed home, you can say, that sounds relaxing.
That sounds relaxing.
If they say, I worked all weekend, you can say, oh, that sounds busy.
Oh, that sounds busy.
Perfect. These small responses make the conversation friendly.
Yes. You do not just ask a question. You listen and respond.
Exactly. That is real conversation.
Let's do a short practice conversation.
Okay, I am ready. Hi, Paul, how was your weekend?
It was relaxing.
Nice, what did you do?
I stayed home, watched movies, and ate pizza.
That sounds fun.
It was. How was your weekend, Emily?
It was busy but good.
What did you do?
I cleaned my apartment, went shopping, and visited my parents.
That sounds very productive.
Yes, it was.
Very nice. That was easy.
Yes, short, clear, and friendly.
Let's do another one.
Okay.
Hi, Emily. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, I did. It was relaxing.
What did you do?
I went for a walk and read a book.
That sounds peaceful.
It was. What about you?
My weekend was okay. I didn't do much.
Sometimes that is nice too.
Yes. I rested.
Very good.
I think learners can use these conversations.
Yes, they are simple and natural.
And they do not need to speak for a long time.
Exactly. A short answer is okay.
That is important.
Very important. If someone asks, how was your weekend? You can say just two sentences.
2 sentences?
Yes, for example, it was good. I stayed home and watched TV.
That is enough?
Yes, that is enough.
Wonderful. English is not so scary.
No, it is not. Start small.
Start small and practice often.
Exactly.
Now let's review the most useful phrases from today.
Great. Review is very important.
First, questions.
Questions.
How was your weekend?
How was your weekend?
Did you have a good weekend?
Did you have a good weekend?
What did you do this weekend?
What did you do this weekend? Very good. Now answers. Answers.
It was good.
It was good.
It was great.
It was great.
It was relaxing.
It was relaxing.
It was busy.
It was busy.
It was okay.
It was okay.
I stayed home.
I stayed home.
I slept late.
I slept late.
I watched a movie.
I watched a movie.
I went shopping.
I went shopping.
I visited my family.
I visited my family.
I met my friends.
I met my friends.
I cleaned my room.
I cleaned my room.
I did the laundry.
I did the laundry.
I cooked dinner.
I cooked dinner.
I went to a cafe.
I went to a cafe.
I went for a walk.
I went for a walk.
I read a book.
I read a book.
I listened to music.
I listened to music.
I prepared for Monday.
I prepared for Monday.
Excellent! These are very useful weekend phrases.
Yes, I can use them on Monday.
Exactly. Emily, what is one simple answer learners can memorize?
Good question. Here is one easy answer.
Okay.
It was good. I stayed home and relaxed.
It was good. I stayed home and relaxed.
Very useful.
Another one?
It was busy. I went shopping and visited my family.
It was busy. I went shopping and visited my family.
Great.
One more?
It was relaxing. I watched a movie and read a book.
It was relaxing. I watched a movie and read a book.
Perfect.
These are simple, but they sound natural.
Yes, simple English is good English,
I like that. Simple English is good English.
especially when you are learning.
Yes. Do not wait until your English is perfect.
Exactly. Practice with simple sentences now.
Mistakes are okay,
Mistakes are normal.
and every small sentence helps.
Yes, every small sentence helps your English grow.
This was a very useful episode.
I agree. Talking about weekends is very common.
Yes. People ask about weekends at work, at school, and with friends.
And now our listeners have many simple answers.
They can say, "It was good.
I stayed home.
I went shopping.
I visited my family.
I prepared for Monday."
Very good, Paul.
Thank you. I am ready for Monday conversation now.
Even Sunday danger time.
Maybe. I still do not like Sunday danger time,
That is okay.
but now I can talk about it in English.
Perfect. Well, everyone, that is all for today's episode.
Thank you so much for listening to Mr. English Channel.
We hope this episode helped you learn how to talk about your weekend in English.
If it helped you, please click the like button.
And subscribe to Mr. English Channel for more easy English lessons.
Also, please share this episode with a friend who is learning English.
Yes, and now we have a question for you.
Homework time.
Tell us in the comments, what did you do this weekend?
You can write one simple sentence,
For example, I stayed home and watched a movie.
or I visited my family,
Or I went shopping.
or I slept late.
Very good.
We would love to read your comments.
Yes, we would. Thank you again for listening.
Keep practicing your English.
Stay safe, have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Paul.
Bye, Emily.